Hello and welcome to episode 109 of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, where each and every single day for 109 days in a row now, I've provided you with a piece of simple and actionable advice that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. If you're new around here, my name is James Newell and I teach people how to sell for a living, and for me it comes in two very distinct parts. It starts with having a clear sales message. People have got to understand what you're trying to sell to them, and then you need selling confidence, the ability to be relaxed and comfortable and confident in a selling situation. In this episode, we're talking about simplicity, how simplicity can help you to sell and the importance of it. And for me, it works really well because it makes you sound like you know what you're talking about, and it helps your buyers to believe in you. And I know that phrase can sound a bit flippant. Sound like you know what you're talking about, but it's really important. It's one thing to be good at what you do. It's another thing to be good at selling what you do and communicating what you do and sounding like you're as good as you're supposed to be. Simplicity comes in when it comes to articulating your offering. This is a real messaging kind of piece here. If I said, how do you do what you do? And you said, well, we start here and then we do that and blah, blah, blah. And you go in the houses a little bit. Or if you said, how do we do what we do? It's a really simple process, James. It's called the Clear James process. 4 steps. We start here, and you talk me through it whilst looking me in the eye or the lens, if you're on a Zoom call, and you're not referring to anything. Simplicity matters because if we can simplify your sales process, how you do what you do, how you communicate what you do, why people buy from you, etc., if we shrink that down to the simplest components possible, it makes it easier for you to remember and communicate without reaching for anything else to support you. And if I look you dead in the eye and answer all of the questions you have, and the answers are good enough and you don't feel I'm going around the houses or reaching for anything, then you get the sense that I'm comfortable, confident, in control, and I know what I'm talking about. That's the importance of simplicity. In particular for me, this is about articulating how you do what you do. So having a diagram of how you do what you do, having a name for your process, and just being able to articulate it in the first place will set you apart. But it's got to be so simple that you can sketch it on a napkin to somebody. You don't need to send them a PowerPoint. And so to sketch it on a napkin, it needs as few words as possible. And really, we're only talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps or whatever. You're not going to remember off the top of your head a 12-step articulated process. It's not going to happen. That's where simplicity sells. So if you want to sound like you know what you're talking about, do your homework, put things into structured, simplified, itemized bullet point lists, communicate in that way first of all, rather than talking freely and potentially going around the houses, and maintain eye contact or lens contact if you're on a Zoom call with people, and watch the difference it makes in their confidence in you, but also your confidence in yourself. That's why for me, simplicity sells. Okay, that's it for this episode of the Daily Sales Message Podcast. Tomorrow in 110, I'm going to share with you how I approach every single sales conversation, call, meeting, DM exchange, whatever, every one of them. I do not change this. It works very well and so few people do it. But tune in tomorrow and I'll tell you all about that. In the meantime, if we're not already connected on LinkedIn, please find me over there, James Newell, Clear Sales Message. Shoot me a connection request or a DM. Let me know what you like about the podcast, if anything. If not, you don't have to DM me and tell me it's rubbish. But if you want me to answer a question in particular, something you want me to cover, by all means, send me a DM, a direct message, and I'll feature it in a future episode of the Daily Sales Message Podcast. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.